I'm on record as saying that I do think that Kevin deserves a chance to coach this football team when he has a quarterback that he can win consistently with. And I don't know that he's really had that yet here for any length of time. So I do think that if he went somewhere else and had a quarterback that he can work with and win with, then I think he's going to be successful. And I think he would be that here too. So if I were making the decision, I would try to give him the quarterback and see what he can do with it. So I just want to make sure that I'm on record as stating that that's how I feel about that. And then as far as Andrew is concerned, I certainly don't see how you pack up your NFL defensive rookie of the year, get him ready to head out to the awards ceremony. And then you've got all these other really great rookies that you have drafted in one of the best rookie classes that I've ever seen here, and say, oh no, you're done. Sorry, Andrew, that's just not, this is not going to fly. I remember at the owners' meetings, Jimmy Haslam said, this is a very important draft and he basically has to nail it. And I think he's nailed it. I think he's nailed this draft, and I think we can pretty much all agree on that. And he hasn't even necessarily made one of the most important pieces of that draft, and that was the first rounder that will come in 2026. So I just don't see that Andrew is going anywhere based on what we've seen from this draft class so far. I think it's the foundation, and I know how you guys feel about this. I think this year is the foundation, and I will say it again, of Super Bowl window too. And I think that next year will be the second layer of that, and I think that Andrew will be the one making those decisions.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why I think they need to blow this up. And we're going to break it down on this episode of Room Talk. Now, hit the intro. Oh, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Locker Room Talk. I'm your host, Eli, like always. That's our Sports Network, also on the socials. Make sure you follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, at SideTalk Sports Network. And don't forget, check out my other show, my Mindset with me and my host, Levi Stroh. Now, let's get into what in the proceedings this evening and the god awfulness. And again, do everybody out there think the Cleveland Browns should blow this whole thing up and what you should do? I'm gonna dive into that today, as well as we're gonna go over Shedeur Sanders' struggles in Chicago and in negative 20-degree weather. Now, let's jump into it, everybody. Was it really just a bad game for Shedeur Sanders? I seem to think it was. Well, all we want is Shedeur to succeed. He's a rookie, but it was as good. It was as bad as it gets. He went 18 for 35, 177, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's just flat out some game plan. It just seems like that's just it's just kind of how the cards fell, and that's just the game. It rises. That game that raises real questions. It rises. Sorry. Now there's a debate. Was this on Shador, or was this set up to fail? And a lot of people say they'd set up to fail, but I kind of see it. Well, first of all, he's a rookie. Was he set up to fail? Who knows? Play calling was awful, but we'll get into that. He had no rhythm all day, but he showed flashes. You know what I mean? Two great balls to Isaiah Bond. Completions of Bond. Honestly, it was probably the best throw was to Judy, and we see what happened with that. He just flat out dropped the ball. So here's the pass to Judy. And right there, set up, everything was perfect. Everything looked good. He just flat out mishandled it. They asked him questions like, well, what could he have done better? And at the end of the day, you can say late hands or whatever you may want to think of it, but honestly, he just missed the bat. He just missed the catch, and it happens. You know what I mean? No fault. No, I guess you can say it's Judy's fault, but Those are the three passes that showed elite ball skills. And it's you know, some people can say Judy should have caught it, and they try to sabotage Shedeur, but I'm gonna say that at the end of the day, he dropped the pass. It is what it is. Johnson made a hell of an interception. There's nothing you can do about it now. It's done. It's over with. But what I'm saying is, Shedeur full of flashes of greatness. Granted, he got sacked 5 times. He just didn't look good. I didn't think the team looked good. So that's just kind of how I see it. So I don't feel like it was a reflection of Shedeur overall game. You know what I mean? I just think the coaching staff put him in bad spots. I just think the game plan was god awful. And I'm not saying Kevin's trying to sabotage him. I just don't think he knows how to develop a quarterback. I feel like he's one of those coaches that needs that veteran presence to run his offense. Granted, I know you had Deshaun Watson, but even then he looked terrible in that offense. So I don't think it's anything in Shedeur's overall development of being or becoming a quarterback. I just think he's a rookie. There's going to be ups and downs. He had one great game he had a good game against Las Vegas, a bad game against the Niners, a great game against Tennessee, a bad game against Chicago. So that's just what it is. It's rookie. It's the ebb and flows of being a rookie and getting used to the game, getting used to the speed of the game. Not just that, the offensive line was a disaster. They had 4 injured. The backups are backups. You know what I mean? They're playing the backups of the backups, third string offensive line, kind of like they did in the preseason pretty much. And it was just patched together. There's no excuses of some of the interceptions that Shedeur made. Let's get that out there. I'm not saying it's not Shedeur's fault. The end of the 2 interceptions, it was his fault. CJ Gardner-Johnson tricked him, and he was pressured a bunch, but he's going to get pressured. If I was Chicago, I would have blitzed the shit out of him as well. There's the backups of the backups offensive line. I would have sent pressure every time to make him try to figure it out. So I'm not faulting. I'm not saying that there's no fault of Shedeur. He threw those interceptions. He held the ball a little bit long at times, trying to make a play, and he's going to grow with that. He's going to learn how to hit that back button and let it rip. You know what I mean? But there's nothing else to that. I want you to show you a clip of Tony Grossi actually sticking up for Shedeur for the first time. And it actually shocked me when I seen this, but check it out.
No chance whatsoever. It's no reflection of him. You cannot put a rookie quarterback, I don't know how good he is, down 14-0 at your goal line almost every drive to start the game. And I counted him among the handful that.
So again, he said he's one of the few that's actually seemed like they're trying, and he's right, and I felt like that too. I didn't feel like the team cared. You know what I mean? And let's talk about not just the offense. I don't think defense. And let's talk about the defense. They couldn't stop the run. The receivers with Chicago Bears' receivers were running wide open. Swift was running all over them. It just feels like the defense didn't really care to play. Granted, I understand it's Chicago. If you've never been to Chicago, it's cold as shit. That's why when I have family out there, I don't go out there from October until April. Like it was super cold, and I totally understand that. And if you ever played football in the cold, I totally understand why it may seem like you don't want to play. But the defense looked like they flat out did not want to play at all whatsoever. And that's one of those things where I said in previous episodes that I didn't know if I wanted Shedeur to play this back half of the season. The simple fact is they're 3 and whatever, and some vets and some players are just kind of like, all right, it's time. 1, 2, 3 Cancun, what we're doing all the off season. And Shedeur and some of those rookies and even some of those veterans and other players are trying to play for a spot next year. Good put good film on, good playoff film for other teams or whatever it may be. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like the defense only really cares if nothing to take away from Myles Garrett, but this seems like they only just want him to get the record. Like they're not enthused, they're not excited to win or go out there and play hard. But and I hope that's not the case. Maybe I don't know. But my eyes are telling me that. My eyes, what they're showing me, that last game showed me that they didn't want to be in Chicago. They just didn't want to go. You know what I mean? Like as a coach, I'd rather lose for the people. I'd rather lose and get my ass kicked by a team with the guys that I know is coming and playing the hardest. And I know that because I'm one of those players. I was one of those players that I played hard regardless. I have too much pride to just quit. You know what I mean? So that's one of those cases right there, man. But I don't think, is that unfair though to say that about the defense? It possibly, but it don't seem to. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. My eyes are telling me something different. It just didn't look like. Maybe it is unfair. Maybe it's not. But the defense didn't seem like they really cared. They didn't care if they scored. You know what I mean? And that's frustrating, not to me as a fan of Shedeur, but just a fan of football in general. That's just frustrating because you guys get paid a lot of money. Go out there and just play hard. But again, I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just spitting it out there. And here's where I land with the whole Shedeur. You know what? Over on that game, and this is how I land. Shedeur showed flashes of something special. To me, he showed something special, and that's why it hurts. If they give him I believe if they give him a real off season, I believe the production and he will be a lot better. I feel like each game he grown, he took another step, take another step. That's why I was so pissed off that they let Dylan Gabriel jump in front of him on that just because he drafted. To me, I come from a place where best person's play. The next man up, if you're better than that person, and if you're talented, that person and knows, and people see it, then we play the best players. None of this first round, third round pick, fifth round pick. It doesn't matter if that fifth round pick or sixth round pick is better than that second round pick. You don't put them in. Let's just be honest, man. Like they playing this, and everybody, all the media stated, oh, he's just a fifth round pick. It doesn't matter. Let's be honest. He's better than Dylan Gabriel. Let's just flat out say it. Let's not sugarcoat shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that right there is just don't make no sense. But that is what it is at this point. You know what? I think if this offseason, if they give him more protection, has a complete offseason, he might be the best quarterback Cleveland had in decades. I'm flat out saying that now. Rebuild that offensive line. Give him some type of receivers. And I believe, I would bet money that he will show how good of a quarterback he is. I don't want to say all quarterbacks lift up players. Yes, they do. I understand it. Like Patrick Mahomes, that's up Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, all those quarterbacks lift up the rest of the team, but they get no protection. Everyone looks pedestrian. Let's be honest. If there's no quarterback gets protection, they all look pedestrian. Let's get that right now. So now let's move on to Kevin Stefanski and how they look overall. This is not just on Shador. This is it looked dysfunctional. I'm not sugarcoating anything. You see me on my Mile High Mindset podcast I'm a Broncos fan. Yes, I am a Broncos fan, but I'm serious about, like, I analyze it and I tell the truth, man, what it is. As Kevin Stefanski lost the locker room. And with saying that, let's stop dancing around it. Has Kevin Stefanski really has lost his team? I don't know, maybe I'm some of the majority that believes he has. But let's check out this clip from my man Riz of ESPN Cleveland, and you let me know how y'all feel about it.
Checklist, them start drives.
Yeah,
Was there clock mismanagement?
of course.
Was there a bad challenge?
Yeah.
Was there a bad game plan on offense and defense?
Shockingly, yes.
Were there bad special teams?
Yeah. Yeah, there were.
Two for the three for the special teams. How does this guy have a job this morning? My God. Okay. I guess we're going to ride it out to the end of the year. Chris, on the way home from Cincinnati, I hope I find out that Kevin Stefanski is gone. Come on.
See, because what I saw was just bad execution. It was unorganized, dysfunctional. The Browns looked unprepared, demoralized, and flat. And to me, that's coaching. 100% coaching. But here's a question. Players didn't want to be there, like I said. Usually players didn't look like they wanted to be there, and that's literally the loudest. And it's a sign of coaching, of coach losing the locker room, losing the season. This game was an indictment of what the coaching staff is. The coaching staff should get you to play regardless of what your record is, when it is. When you start believing in the coach, you don't play hard. You don't care to play. You don't want to show up. You're not having fun. And that's what I seen Sunday versus the Bears, particularly from the defense. They went from a top 3 defense to who's out on the field. Granted, I totally understand there are plenty of injuries. Ward was injured. Like, there's plenty of injuries that they have that we just sit here and look at it like, dang, there's riddled injuries. But there's no integrity, no belief, no life. It feels like. I don't know. It just don't seem right, and I don't understand it. And that's something that I feel like he lost the locker room because they're not playing hard for him. They're not playing hard for him. I don't believe. They don't look like they're playing hard, and that right there is just totally an indictment of coaching staff. That's straight up. They're not having fun out there. Maybe is because it was so goddamn cold outside in Chicago that maybe it didn't seem like that. But look at Chicago. They played their ass off, 31 plus points. Also, the game plan was horrible. The adjustments were worse. You heard what Riz said. All those things occurred in that game on Sunday. And the consistently put Shedeur and the offense in impossible situations. The first possession started at the half-yard line. Well, the 1-yard line, and then someone jumped off sides. That's discipline right there. That reflects the coaching staff. And started up at the half-yard line. So I'm going to sit here and tell you that I feel like Kevin Stefanski lost his locker room. I don't know when he lost it or when it happened, but I feel like he lost his locker room. So ask yourself this. How much of Shedor's struggles are actually on Kevin Stefanski? That's the question you need to answer. Granted, I already know he struggled. He had a bad game, but how much of the struggle reflects on Kevin Stefanski? And that's the question to ask. And that's everybody, you and all the media and all the bullshit and all the naysayers and all the just say the people are talking about. Now, that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like some of Shedeur struggles, and it's not just on he's not talented and he's not a good quarterback. I feel like it's some on the coaching staff. And, he's a rookie. You're supposed to develop him a certain way. And take, for instance, Drake May in New England. You got Bo Nix. You got Caleb Williams just on the other side last weekend. That these coaches are developing them at a not just at a rate, but at a pace where you can see the growth each time they step on the field. And you see that with Shedeur. But I'd sit back and look at it like the offensive plays, it's just not working. It's just consistently bad. The adjustments, that's what I'm saying, the adjustments were crazy. Like it's run, third and long, Shedeur make the play. run, Shador make a play. He led Shador led the team in rushing. They only had 50 yards, and Shador had 20 something of those. And I just don't understand it. And again, here's what Joe Hayden had to say about Kevin Stefanski. The game was one of the first games I've ever watched as a Browns fan. I don't like Stefanski, and he looked like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, it's 100% true. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. I don't know. And I started the show with Mary Kay again, talking about, I think if Kevin Stefanski gets his quarterback, maybe he can develop him. What do you mean get his quarterbacks? How many quarterbacks have the Cleveland Browns had since Stefanski took it over? And with that, I get, he was a coach, 2-time coaches a year. He had a good 6 weeks with Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield. You see what Baker Mayfield is doing out there. So I don't want to. I'm just saying, like, I think it's time. Like, I think he lost the team. I just think that the guys, the team is tired of losing. And as an owner or GM or whoever makes those decisions up in Cleveland, I think it's about that time. You know, because it's very dysfunctional. No one seems like they're getting coached right. And it's just baffles me how bad the adjustments are and with game time adjustments. Granted, I'm not just saying this because of Shador. It just looks bad. It looked bad with Dylan in the game. It looked bad with Joe Flacco in the game this year. So it's not. The one common denominator is the head coach. I'm just going to say it now. There's bad special teams. You know, the only bright spot you had was defense, and even now they're just like, damn, they held up for so long that they just say fuck it. And that all reflects on the coach, the head coach particularly, and the coaching staff. Just being honest with you guys. Because every quarterback that he had in his system looked terrible. All of them except for Joe Flacco. That's 6 weeks. And Baker Mayfield before he got hurt. Again, one common denominator, and that's your boy Kevin Stefanski. Let's not all get this wrong, people. That's what I see. That's what the world is seeing. That's not even the only people that don't see it is the people that want Shedeur to lose to fit their narrative. Like, let's just be honest. The whole dysfunction, what it is. Tony Grossi, even though he stuck up for Shedeur, he's saying the same shit. He's back to his cooning way. Mary Kay I don't know what the Cleveland Browns just pays her to with propaganda narratives that because Stefanski is this great coach, but I feel like he lost the locker room. That game plan was god awful. I bet he came up with a better game plan than that against the Bears. I'm just flat out saying that. So y'all can miss me with that. Now, let's move on to should the Brown owner and the organization have a reset? Should they just blow this whole shit up? Is this an overreaction? But when I see coaches get fired for less. Let's just say that. Oh, they haven't won in years. They are 6 and whatever over the last 2 years so far. God awful for the multiple years. But here's the debate. I understand Cleveland fans do not want to have Kevin Stefanski. Does Cleveland fans want to blow this up? Like, honestly, I think you should blow this up. It is time. It is time to set that bomb off and just reset this whole organization. I gotta say, it is. It's time. What would I do in this situation? I'm gonna play GM right for a second. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow this up. I'm gonna fire everybody. I understand that some Shador supporters believe that if they blow this up, the GM and the coach that Shedeur won't be able to have a chance to start. Maybe that might be so, but Shedeur supporters are going to say, without Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski there, our whole new regime, they might not want to let Shedeur compete for the starting quarterback job. This is me. First, number one, what I'm going to do, I'll fire everybody analytically, everything. I'm going to get some real GMs. I'm going to get some real coaches. I'm going to do all that. So, our GM, this is what I'll do. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring back Shador and Watson and Gabriel because you have to use them in the contract. Get rid of everybody. First, foremost, getting the draft. I'm not drafting a quarterback because I'm going to say this. As much as Cleveland don't like Deshaun Watson and some don't like Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel is just Dylan Gabriel. Whatever it is, I'm going to bring those three quarterbacks back because if Shedeur don't pan out, you have Deshaun Watson. I'm going to tell you this. With the right coach, just like this Shedeur, with the right coach, they're pretty good quarterbacks. I'm going to say this now. Deshaun in Houston was a baller. No one could have thought that this drop-off would be so bad. Granted, he has so much money tied up to him. You might as well bring him back. So you don't draft the quarterback. What you do is go load up on offensive line. I'm taking a blueprint from Sean Payton. Granted, I know people don't like him, but look what he did. He solidified the offensive line here in Denver, and you see where it's getting. One of the best top two offensive line with a rookie quarterback last year. You see how that helps your rookies out? First, blow it all up, get rid of everybody. If I have to trade whoever to get where I need to be, I'm going to trade. I know Deshaun Watson's money's on the table and all that. This is how I will go about doing it. Keep those three quarterbacks. First pick, I'm going to go get me a left tackle. With that, Cleveland has 2 first-round picks. So what I'll do is, either with the first pick or the first pick of theirs, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my whatever pick you are, I'm going to have my first-round pick. I'm going to trade back. Why? Because I'm going to accumulate more picks in the first round. They want to move up. Whoever wants to move up, I'm going to drop back to maybe the mid-teens, if that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab me the best lineman. Actually, I'm going to get the 2 best linemen, or I'm going to grab the best receiver. I'm going to trade back, grab one of the best receivers, or trade back, grab a little line right there. You can trade back a little bit, get your receiver, whatever. You get that. You can get 2. If you can trade back with somebody that wants to come up, trade back, you either acquire their first round pick and some more picks, and more picks. So all this draft is going to be is going to be receiver, offensive lineman, and possibly a corner, maybe. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to get that, drop back, no quarterbacks. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to show you guys potential of quarterbacks coming out this issue and tell you why I wouldn't draft the quarterback. Here are the top, they're not necessarily in order, these are the top quarterbacks if they come out. Some probably won't come out, some will. Fernando Mendoza, everybody seems to like him. Don't think he's better than Shador. Moore, don't think he's better than Shador. None of these quarterbacks on this page right here, these are for NFL top quarterbacks. You can say top 12, top whatever quarterbacks. None of these quarterbacks here, I can sit here and personally say that they're better than Shedeur Sanders right now. That's 100% honest. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Shedeur supporter. I'm just being blatant honest with you. I don't feel like Mendoza's that great. Just being real. 100%. Just being honest. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to collect these picks. I'm going to either trade down, a couple spots down, grab a receiver and an offensive lineman. With my first pick, I'm going to grab me an offensive lineman. You know what I mean? Or trade down, get some more picks, add more picks, grab more linemen, more receivers. You already said at the tight end position, Jerry Jeudy's a good receiver, but he's more of a number 2 receiver than the one. That's why when he was in Denver, he was a number 2 receiver, not Cortland Sutton. You get what I'm saying? Because the pressure was on Cortland Sutton, not Jerry Jeudy to get the ball. So I'm just going to be honest with you. So we do that, or what I'll do is draft a receiver, get some line or draft linemen, maybe at least 3 linemen. Go get some in free agency. Trade Jerry Jeudy for maybe a 3rd or a 4th. If you can get 3rd or 4th for him, and draft some more and pick up a veteran receiver that's decent, that's willing to make plays, that are willing to take a little bit more, that you might have to pay a little more to come to Cleveland. But if Shedeur is named going into a possible starter in Cleveland, I guarantee receivers will come to play for Shedeur. People will come to play for Shedeur. That's why Cleveland don't understand. Cleveland, if you guys want to get out of this and want people to come to your team, let Shedeur be your quarterback. Let him and develop him so people will want to come to Cleveland. No one wants to go to Cleveland. I'm putting it out there. Shedeur becomes, people see steps that he's improving and getting him better, and he can try to be that franchise quarterback. People will come play with him. People will go to Cleveland to play with Shedeur Sanders. So again, that's what I'll do. I will also like Shedeur to be around better coaches. And when I say that is, I have a couple coaches in mind. Let's take a look at it. These are the coaches that I would love to see the Cleveland after getting resetting everything, getting rid of everybody, all the coach staff, to put some of these guys in or look at these potential guys. And I'm going to run down them. These coaches right here are perfect coaches for the Cleveland Browns at this time. You got Clint Kubiak. If you guys don't know, he's Gary Kubiak's son. With that perfect offense for Shedeur and the run game. You had Judkins and you have Simpson, so therefore, perfect. Either they could be the head coach or offense coordinator. And Clint Kubiak, offense coordinator, Seattle Seahawks, offense coordinator currently. You see what Donald is doing for Seattle and see how explosive that offense is. But with Shedeur, run game would be a lot better. Quarterback will come out a lot earlier. Quarterback will develop better. Again, Vance Joseph. I wouldn't want him to leave Denver, but he's a leader of men. And I think this second time around would be better. The defense will be even better just by scheme. And then you can pair him with one of these offense coordinators, and I guarantee your team will be a lot better. Vance Joseph knows how to. He's been a head coach. Granted, he didn't work out the first time, but he came back and he learned some things. Again, Cliff Kingsbury, he helped develop Jaden Daniels. What more can you say? Jaden Daniels is on his way to superstardom. If it wasn't for the injuries, but Cliff Kingsbury can coach his ass off and he can coach quarterbacks. Let's be honest. I believe he was a Holmes coach in college, as from what I vaguely remember. So yes, he can develop Shedeur. Another coach Cleveland should think about. Again, another one. Last but not least, another Broncos. Our quarterbacks coach, David Webb. Offensive pass coordinator for the Denver Broncos. He called plays in the preseason, granted, but he's learned from one of the best play callers, and he helped develop Bo Nix. As much as you can say about Bo Nix, in the last 2 years, he's been the best rookie quarterback, bar none. Most touchdowns, most yards, most wins. Let's just be honest. That's just what it is. Granted, our defense is great, but he knows how to develop a rookie quarterback. So you put any of these 4 coaches with Cleveland Browns. Once Clint, he knows how to scheme it up. He knows how to develop. He knows how to run the ball great. The zone, he's from the Kubiak Shanahan tree. I think Shedeur is perfect for that offense as well. Vance Joseph, a leader of men. He ain't taking enough shit. The defense will still be good. But if you get Joseph, you got to pair him up with the great offense coordinator that acts like an actual head coach. That's just how I see it. Cliff Kingsbury, he can be the head coach, play caller, develop Jaden Daniels, great offense coordinator in my eyes. That's just me. And then Davies Webb, I know he's young, but he knows how to develop a quarterback. He's helped develop Bo. Great offensive mind, great coach. But I think he'll be head coach. I don't know, it might be too soon, but a great offensive coordinator calling plays. So that right there, those coaches right there would be perfect for Shador once you blow this up. Do well. If you blow it up, you should blow this shit up. 100%. I'm just over it. Just blow it up. Like Cleveland. You don't like that's what I see. So those right there, don't draft a quarterback. Don't draft a quarterback. Load up on receivers, offensive line, and maybe a cornerback. But you don't really have to touch the defense too much. You guys they drafted well, and you guys got some ballers on that side. Offensive linemen, playmakers. So, yes, that's what I would do if I was the GM. Reset this whole goddamn thing and do what I just said. I think they should commit to Shedeur. If they commit Shedeur, those are the coaches that I see you put down. Just saying. Like I said, think Kubiak, proven system build, advanced starter, accountability, defensive toughness. Plus, just pair him up with another offensive coordinator. I guarantee if you get Joseph, you might get Davis Webb. So, again, and this is coming from a Broncos fan, Broncos enthusiast, so to say. So, guarantee Cleveland Browns, Cleveland fans, if you want a good defensive coordinator, you get Joseph, plus you'll get Davis Webb that is help develop Bo Nix. Or it's the Cliff Kingsbury or Coops. I think those would fit perfect with Shedeur and how he wants to play. But overall, should y'all blow this up? Yes, Cleveland fans, blow this thing the hell up. You have to blow it up. There's no way Stefanski can come back after what I've seen. But there's still 3 more games left. And we'll see how they respond after that ass whooping they got from the Bears. But I think Cleveland needs a reset. And if Jimmy has them, you just need a reset. I understand that's your boy or whatever it may be. But yeah, you need to blow that up. But if Andrew Berry survives, then you just need to go find. You're going to have to fire your boy and just reset this whole thing. And I know Kevin Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year. But here's the uncomfortable truth, Cleveland fans. That super uncomfortable truth. Those awards might be the reason why you guys are stuck in this situation anyway. Because he is a 2-time NFL coach of the year. I think that right there for you guys, he's a 2-time coach of the year, that's the reason why you're stuck. That's 100% reason why you're stuck. Because he has won those awards. So, yes, that's what I feel. And that's how I feel about it is you guys are stuck because he won those 2. If he didn't win those awards, he'd have been fired already. But since he won those awards, I feel like you guys are stuck right now in this whole thing. But either way, Andrew Berry stays on. I think he probably has. I feel like he is more. It's leaning more that he will stay on than he won't. I feel like it's Kevin Stefanski after this. Even he might not need to go. Like I said, he did. I feel like he just lost the team. So right there, that's how I feel about the GM. Reset this whole thing. Again, let me know, fellas. Comment below, everybody, Cleveland fans, Shedeur fans. Let me know how you feel about that. But I think that's the best recipe to reset this thing and get it back. You can flip it in 1 year if you do it right. You'll get a couple of good free agent linemen, a couple of draft linemen, maybe a veteran receiver, get your rookie receiver, a playmaker, like the kid at Ohio State, or Jordan Tyson's actually, but Jordan Tyson's a little injury prone, but one of those 2 would probably reset this whole thing really pretty quickly. Another thing that I want to, and I'm not just in agreement with this, but like Cleveland radio is talking the same thing, and these 2 guys, I'm just saying, I'm not the only one that's probably thinking this way. So just listen. Some of you guys, Cleveland media, is thinking the way I'm thinking when it comes to this. I want to show you a clip because I totally see his vision on how you should reset this team. So here, check this out.
For two reasons. One, I think Shedeur has something, and I want to see that before I move on. Two, I can't believe, I as of right now, I don't believe any of the quarterbacks in this draft 5 years from now are going to be definitively better than Shedeur. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be drafted in the first round, but what I mean is, I think Shedeur, I think he was a
nice
top 40
spin
pick.
on this. I like this.
Stop.
I like this. What a supporter we have here.
But I think Shedeur was a top 40 player in this last draft. I didn't think he was a top 5 player. I think Shedeur, at his best, is going to be somewhere between the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th best quarterback in the NFL. I don't know Fernando Mendoza is going to be anything more than that. I'm leaning Shedeur.
He's right. He's 100% right. You don't know that Mendoza would be that. You know what I mean? And I don't see Mendoza even coming close to what Shedeur is. I feel like Shedeur has the higher ceiling. That's why I would start with Shedeur, Deshaun Watson, and then Dylan Gabriel. Those three start. And I guess you can say battle that, or just stick with Shedeur. Deshaun will be the backup, and then Dylan will be quarterback 3, because he can always sit back and do what he got to do to learn the game, all that. You start with Shedeur, offensive line. When you give Shedeur time to throw the ball, he carves people up. He can make some. He's sneaky athletic, pocket awareness. He just got to get rid of the ball and trust it. So overall, I'm 100% with them. And that's just proves my point that people are willing to see. And some Cleveland media and some people don't believe in the draft plans. Like, I didn't believe in this draft class even if Arch Manning was coming out. That's why you have to blow this thing up and get fresh coaches in here, because Kevin Stefanski lost his locker room. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's insanity at this point. Cleveland has been bad for years. I know for a fact that I know the Cleveland fans are tired of it. I was tired of it at least up for 9.5 years, 9 years, almost 10 years. Those Broncos fans went through hell for 10 years. We were never this bad. So I understand Cleveland been doing it for decades. So I couldn't do it. It took me this long. I couldn't stand it. But now look at it. So either way, blow this up. Jimmy Haslam's going to have to do it. Maybe keep Andrew Berry. But you got to get out all that toxic analytical stuff and get some football guys that know the game and knows how to evaluate players and develop players, a leader of men. I'm not saying Kevin Stefanski is a bad coach, but we all seen what Cam Newton said on his track record. Let's be honest. What quarterback has he developed? Don't worry, I'll wait. None. So let's speed this process up and let's get this going, all right? But let me know what y'all think in the comment section, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, comment section. Let me know what you think, you know what I mean? Now on to the Bills. So, again, Cleveland is heavy underdogs, but let's be honest. Bills defense is not a world beater. Let's be honest. Bills are fighting for playoff seedings. They have a chance to catch New England somehow, some way. They're gonna be motivated. They're gonna be ready to play. Granted, it's in Cleveland, so maybe that helps. Again, helps Cleveland a little bit. What am I there to watch? I want to see Shador take some more steps, maybe get the ball out faster, take less sacks. You know what I mean? Try to understand the defense a little better. I'm not saying he don't know how to understand the defense, but just less mistakes, less interceptions. Hopefully the receivers catch the ball. And I want to see if the coaching staffs adjust off of what the Bills will do. Granted, you're going to have to score a lot of points. I'm just going to be honest. The Buffalo Bills will put up 40 on you in a minute, and Josh Allen will carry the Bills to victory in reality. What did this team like? I want to see if Cleveland shows fight. What does and the most important thing this most important thing is, can Cleveland Browns play a decent game? Can their defense stop Allen maybe once or twice or a couple of times? You never know. It's NFL. I want to see if the coach made adjustments from last week and get these guys ready to play. Put them in better positions and better spots going into the game or during the game. In-game adjustments. Are they actually going to seem like they want to play, or are the players going to seem like they want to play for that coach? Is there a fight? Show some fight? Because there wasn't any last game. Also, does Shedeur take steps forward to show people that he can be that elite quarterback that I believe he can be? And hopefully he will. But to me, this is not just another game. And Cleveland Browns need to understand. Well, the players need to understand. This is not, it's NFL. It's not for long. So if we don't put good film on, we don't put good play on film, it's not for long. You know what I mean? Because this isn't just another game. To me, I know for some of those guys, this is not just another game. This is another game to show that you can play ball in this league. So all I know is I'm looking for, do I believe the Cleveland Browns would have win? No. This may turn out to be a blowout if the defense comes out like it has been the last couple of weeks. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like both of them gonna put over at least 30. But this is a good step of Shador take steps, because Buffalo's defense is not the greatest. They give up a lot of points. But they give up a lot of points. I know they give up less completions on the road, which is weird, than they do at home. But Buffalo Bills will give up points. The defense ain't world beaters. Also, they're out on one of their best tackles offensively. Defensively, they're middle of the pack. Let me see their rankings real quick. Sorry, I didn't have that pulled up, but let's see their rankings. Let's see real quick. Sorry, everybody. Let's see. I know they're not that great when it comes to it. So, things an opportunity, especially offensively. They're not world beaters, so you're not playing against the number ranked whatever offense or defense it is. Let's see their stats. Let's see. Yeah, the rank number 18 defensively. They give up 20 something points a game, 27 points a game. So they're not world beaters. So therefore, Cleveland has opportunity if they were coached right, if they have a better game plan overall, there'll be a better game for them. Plus they're at home, so I guess the house is somewhat. But let's just be honest, I feel like it's more about door short steps and a better completion percentage. Get completions. Don't always throw it a fan in, my man, but just get some completions. Receivers gonna have to help him. Just show the steps that he could be. Show again that they shouldn't drop the quarterback. But even if they do, again, it's a doggy dog world out there, so they're just gonna drop the quarterback at the end of the day. But again, you're minus what 10.5 dogs. So therefore, it's going to be an uphill battle, but I want to see Shedeur take more steps to becoming a better quarterback. Granted, it's only, what, 4th or 5th game? So it's going to be ups and downs, ebbs and flows of the game. It is what it is. So we'll see. Buffalo Bills don't present a crazy pass rush. So we'll see. Injury report is Cleveland Browns third stringers are in the game. Let's just be honest with each other. So let's not Shedeur supporters don't take it if he gets sacked a couple times. Shedeur just get the ball out your hands, play his game. That's all he has to do and show that he can, bounce back from a bad game last week. So that's just what it is. So we'll see. All right. So again, thank you for watching Locker Room Talk with your host, your boy E, me, E to E. Again, like and subscribe to the channel, Side Talk Sports Network. Subscribe where you can catch Locker Room Talk with me, my high mindset with me and my co-host Debbie Stroh. And again, new branded Side Talk Sports Podcast coming soon. Where we dive into everything, we talk that shit. So again, thanks for watching the Locker Room Talk, where we dive deep into the locker room. Tell how it is. We don't give a shit. We ain't pussyfooty around these suckers. So again, thanks again. Subscribe. Again, check us out, My Mindset, this Friday at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And thank you for watching. Hey, comment down below. Tell me what y'all thinking about this whole Shedeur Sanders thing. I'll see you next week for the Locker Room Talk, where we're going to dive into more Shedeur, maybe some CU, and possibly some NBA basketball. So again, thanks for support, everybody that supports us. Again, like, subscribe. I'll see you for the next time. Peace.